Hello and welcome to Forever Motorsports. My name is Reece and today I'm going to be speaking to you about Sergio Perez opening up on his 2023 struggles. But before we get into that, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with all of the latest Formula 1 news. It feels like ages since Sergio Perez lived up to his once valid Street Race King title and won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, cutting teammate Max Verstappen's lead to just 6 points in the championship, as he vowed to take the 2023 title fight all the way. His pole in the subsequent Miami Grand Prix, with Verstappen down in 9th on the grid, was a chance to underline those credentials. But as the Dutchman cut through the field to demote Perez, he struck a psychological hammer blow. It heralded the start of a terrible year for Sergio Perez, who began struggling with the car from the next round in Monaco, and missed Q3 a stunning 5 times in a row, an unprecedented calamity in the field's most dominant car. Despite a contract for 2024, pressure had started to pile high on the Mexican, which further ramped up when Daniel Ricciardo was brought in to replace Nick de Vries at the sister AlphaTauri team, with a clear aim of testing him out for a potential Red Bull return down the line. Perez's breaking point though was at the Qatar Grand Prix, during which he looked utterly lost and lacked in confidence, seeing him finish 80 seconds behind his teammate Max Verstappen, who sealed the championship that Perez once vowed to challenge for with 6 rounds of the season to spare. While the alarm bells had been ringing for a while, Perez was so shell-shocked that he headed to the team's headquarters for 3 days of simulator work and brainstorming with his engineers on how to dig himself out of a hole. When asked why Perez waited until after Qatar, he answered, "Because Qatar was really the worst weekend I remember in a while. Probably my worst weekend ever in the sport. It was such a bad weekend that I really felt like I cannot be this bad. There's something that's going on. When you have these back-to-back races, I feel like sometimes there's not enough time to really go through it all. So I felt like we really had to take a bit of time to make sure that we understood which way we were going. Obviously, we had a deficit within the car setup that we were playing around with weekend by weekend, and we were just not able to progress through it. But once we managed to get on top of that, we understood a lot of things that we were just trying to compensate for, and that just basically meant that we were not just not doing things right. I think that has been really good on our side. I mean, it was bad that it happened, but in a way, it was really good because it really strengthened our team quite a lot." Amid speculation over his future, Perez said that he never considered stepping away despite his slump. "No, obviously, that would have been the easiest route because it was very tough at times," said the 33-year-old. "But I'm not that type of guy that at this stage of my career will be giving up and be willing to finish my career like that. It is not something that I ever considered. I'm aware of the responsibility that I have, and I'm not the sort of guy that will blame people around me for the results. At the end of the day, I took responsibility for it, and I had to turn around the situation quite a lot." Talking about his replacement by Daniel Ricciardo or others, he said, "To be honest, I was not really thinking of it as a driver. I was more focused on making sure I could enjoy the weekends and be able to have that. I was having some weekends that were so difficult that they were not fun. I'm here because I still love it, what I'm doing, and I'm here because I still have a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment, and that was my main focus, that we really need things to turn around then. I had some really difficult times in a few months, let's put it that way. I went from fighting for the championship to being in a difficult boat, and not having that confidence in the car. But at the end of the day, if you want to be at Red Bull, I'm aware of how strong mentally you have to be, and it's something that I got stronger at. You learn so much from the bad days, much more than from the good days." Perez's fighting spirit was on display in Mexico, where an audacious outside move into turn 1 ended in tears. When asked if that move summed up his attitude about the season, he said, "Yeah, basically, I really felt like I had a real option going first into turn 1 if I made it stick. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it could have been a massive result. If I'm fighting for the championship, I think you cannot be that aggressive, but if you're fighting for second, then it is a different story." Taking just one podium into the final third of the season in Las Vegas and finishing on half the points tally of Verstappen, Perez is aware that he still needs to find more over the off-season, but he feels the way that he was able to steady the ship after Qatar was encouraging for 2024. "I always say that people will only remember where you finish in Abu Dhabi, but I'm aware of the year I had. I think I've learned a lot, and I'm happy with how we managed to turn our season around. we really came out stronger than before and made good use of those bad days. We certainly hope to see Sergio Perez turn things around for next season and be able to fight Max Verstappen in the Red Bull team. Be sure to let us know what you thought of Sergio Perez's season in the comment section below, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I've been Reece on Forever Motorsports. Cheers.